imagine a new world that is centered on justice. Today, we make it clear. We do not want small reforms.
My name's Laura, and I'm here with my friend today because this is a cause that I think we've always felt pretty strongly about, and it's something that affects women globally. Yeah, what concerns me right now is what is happening in the States, and although I don't see it as an immediate threat in the UK, I believe it's something that could occur, and if people are not paying attention to honest media, then that is a problem. And my hope for the future is that more and more people become aware of what patriarchy is and what it does to not only women but to men as well.
Hi there, my name's Diane, and I'm here today at Million Women Rise March. I've been actively opposing patriarchy and Zionism for around 50 years, maybe more even. And I've just been asked what I think about the current situation as compared with the demands that we were making in the 1960s and 70s up until present. And it's clearly an effort by the patriarchy, by capitalism, by imperialism, to roll back every single advance that's been made over the last 50 or 60 years. So I don't really need to elaborate. If you've been following the news and following what's been happening to the people of Palestine, then I'm sure you'll understand. Thank you.
Well, what she said, but also, I got involved in women's liberation movement and the Gay Liberation Front in the 1960s and early 70s, and we're still fighting same battles against male violence in all forms, whether it's domestic violence or sexual violence, colonial violence, racist violence, military violence, and we just have to keep on struggling against that. I'm really moved when I see so many young women here today, girls and women, because I know they're going to carry on the struggle for women's liberation that we started or re-energized in the 70s. So good to have this opportunity to speak to people and also to say, let's make the links between patriarchy and colonialism and capitalism, Zionism, and the horror that is happening in America at the moment, rolling back LGBT rights, particularly against trans people. We've really got to fight this and stand up and unite against it. Thank you.
So I come down today just to show my support for women across the globe. I think it's so important that we have this day to celebrate women and also recognise how far we still have to come. And for me as a woman, it's really nice to kind of see so many women feel that kind of sisterhood around me, because it's something that you kind of struggle to feel all the time. And also because of that sort of thing. Yeah, I would also say because there's men like that out there.
I came down today, seeing how excited my girlfriend was for International Women's Day really brought home how meaningful events like this can be for women, and I have so many women in my life who mean so much to me that I wanted to let them know that I was looking out for them in any way that I can. Yeah, I think in the past year especially, it's been incredibly disheartening to see, how successful these extremist anti-women movements in the US and the UK have been, and it's, as a reasonably young man, it's been really scary seeing quite how many people my age have been seduced by, lies and distortions that have convinced them that their problems are best blamed on women rather than, the social structures that impact us all.
I think what we are seeing going on in the world, I think we've got a lot of issues globally. We've got people in Sudan, we've got people in Palestine, all over the world really struggling, and I think it is concerning that some of us are turning a blind eye to it. I think also it doesn't need to be sort of countries in conflict. You've got America, where people are really going to have to fight for their actual rights, which you never thought would happen in somewhere like America. Even in the UK, like, I can't walk home when it gets dark. In the winter, I can't, you know, I lock my door as soon as I get in the car. It's unsafe. I think I have first-hand experience of that. It is really concerning that we all use social media, and I think you can decide how you want to use social media, but I think there are so many people who are just being drawn into things that are really, really dangerous and violent. And I think personally, I don't mind saying I've survived quite a serious sexual assault, and I think a lot of that maybe wouldn't have happened if the person who did it had more education around how to treat women. And I think it's situations like that where you can see it happening to your friends, your family, your sisters, your cousins. Every person, every woman knows someone that has been through something that awful. And I think it's only getting worse, and it's happening. It's not just people who are kind of susceptible to that sort of thing. It's people who are completely normal, have a completely normal upbringing, a very healthy, wholesome life, and then they are just being radicalised online, and that's what's so worrying to me.
You know, again, to come back to what it's like to be a sort of youngish man growing up in the age of social media, I think it's like really quite insidious how easy it is for, you know, bad actors, grifters to take advantage of young men, and actually how complicit like the social media platforms that we all use so much are in allowing this to occur. Like, I remember when I was, you know, 13, 14, 15, just starting to come into my own on the internet, the first thing that was shown on my YouTube recommended was like feminist getting owned compilation, feminist gets destroyed compilation, which on its own is, you know, stupid, but maybe not the most harmful. But it never ends there, because, you know, these social media algorithms are designed to maximize engagement and inevitably end up just pushing you to more and more extreme content. And, you know, pretty quickly you have 14, 15-year-olds who just aren't developed enough to apply their critical thinking faculties to, you know, the stuff they're exposed to. And you have, you know, really, really extreme, hateful material. And yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that so many young men are, you know, falling into these things, but that doesn't make it any less sad and horrific, really. It would be disingenuous to sugarcoat it and say that everything is going amazingly. I think, you know, we have seen some pretty significant steps backwards in a lot of places that we thought women's rights were very secure recently. But I guess what I think events like this show, and, you know, one of the messages that's been so like powerfully articulated by the speakers here, is that the fact is women will exist, they'll always exist, and as long as they exist, they are going to stand up for themselves and have hope and organise in movements like this, and they aren't just going to take it lying down. So, I mean, as scary as things get, it's events like this that kind of keep me faithful to what can be achieved through feminism.
I think, yeah, controversially, I think the future is bright. I think we've got people turning out to events like this. I think we will always have the sisterhood, we will always have people around us who, however tricky it is and however dark things get, I think we will always have a strong kind of female community around us. And I think, yeah, it's getting hard, and it is hard. I work in the news, so I see every day the people who are, you know, all these kind of awful sex attacks and child sex offences and things like that, which is horrendous. But I also think there is so much good out there that we need to focus on too, like everyone here and all the speakers and everyone who's turned out today.